and Happy New Year. If you are thinking just like I was, that at the start of a new year, it's a good time to plan ahead to what you want to see improve in the year ahead, what you want to work on, what you want to challenge yourself to manifest in your life, then thank you for joining me here to learn how to create a vision board. Now, I know that it's lots of fun to create a vision board sometimes by cutting out pictures and gluing them on and arranging them that way. But with things going on with COVID right now, it's not as easy to get a hold of all the materials that you might normally use to create that kind of vision board. So I thought it would be fun this year to try and create a digital vision board. And it is a project that I've done with students at school that I teach in the past, and we've had a lot of fun with it. And so what I created for you this year is a template to get you thinking about all the different areas of your life that you might want to think about when you're creating a vision board and planning ahead to set some goals for some changes, some positive changes in your life. So when you click on the link in the blog, it will open up to this vision board template, and it opens up in Google Draw program. So in order to have that program, you just have to have a Google account, which I know many people do these days. Now, if you don't have that, then you're welcome to download and use my paper-based copy of the template, but it's really fun to try this digitally. So when you open up the link, it will make a copy of this template for you that you can work on and create and make your own. So one of the things that I find really helpful to make a vision board is to think about lots of different areas in my life where I have needs. And I want those needs to be as fulfilled as possible to lead a happy, joyous life. And so I've taken these 10 different areas from an area of study referred to as nonviolent communication, which was originally began by someone named Marshall Rosenberg. And if you haven't heard of him or his work, I strongly recommend you look it up. It's changed my life. But these 10 areas that I want you to think about for your goal setting in your vision board are autonomy. And that's where you can make choices in your life, where you have the freedom to change things and determine your own path. I also want you to think about spiritual goals. Where do you find peace and harmony in your life, and how can you bring more of that into your life? I also want you to think about self-expression. That's how can you use your creativity and your unique gifts and talents to make a difference in this world, and how can you share those with others? Most vision boards, I think, often focus on the next part here, which is celebrate. So what are some of those things that we really enjoy doing and participating in that bring us lots of joy? So there's definitely a spot for that too. And I also want you to think about your health and your body. How can you better care for yourself and your body, and include in that your mental well-being as well. Physical surroundings. Instead of focusing on the things that we want in our life, I challenge you instead to think about how can you create a sense of being secure and in your surroundings. So whether that may be things that may come into your life that will help bring you a feeling of security, or that may be thinking more about money and finances and what you can do with that in order to feel more secure in your life now and for the future. In this section, nurturance, this is a tough one to explain. It's easy when we think about the fact that we all want and need nurturance in our life from others. In order to bring that into our life, though, the best way to do that is to give it out to the world. And then when you give out nurturance, more just naturally comes back to you. So I challenge you here to think about how can you experience more bonding, touch, and comfort with others, but look at it from a point of view of how can you give nurturance and better give nurturance to others. Up here in the top right, we're thinking about interdependence, so our relationships with others. How can we better love and contribute to the people that are the dearest to us, those of us in our family, our friends, and then even think beyond that to the community that you're a part of. And what can you do in this year to better share your love? I also want you to think about your purpose. What are your visions? What are your dreams for your life? They can be small, they can be big. What steps do you see yourself taking this year to move you that little bit closer to fulfilling those dreams? And then down at the bottom, I want you also to think about mental stimulation. We all have this need to learn and to grow. And so what is it that you want to learn this year or experience this year in your life? Or what are some challenges that you'd like to put out there for yourself in order to learn and grow this year? So those are the 10 different areas that I want you to think about. Now, if you're creating a vision board that's digital, what you want to do in your collage is make sure that you're adding both pictures and words to represent each of these areas. So if you haven't used Google Draw before, you're going to want to come up here to Insert and Image. And then if you have pictures of your own that you would like to upload, then you can do that. But I really enjoyed going here to Search the Web. And I'm going to have to move my webcam out of the way here. Here we go. Right here up in Google Draw opens a mini Google search. And all you do is you type in some words here and a whole bunch of copyright-free pictures will show up that you can just plunk into your collage. So I'm going to start with Celebrate, because for me, that was the easiest one to come up with ideas for. What can I do to bring more play into my life? And so I started thinking about some things that I really get a lot of joy from that I haven't maybe been able to do in the last year. And some of these will probably come very easily to you. And I really want to put them on my vision board with the hopes that I can get more involved in these things this year. So something I've been meaning to do for a while is to go swimming, to start getting myself back into the pool again. So if I type in swimming, all kinds of pictures are going to come up here for swimming, and you could just scroll through until you find the one that speaks to you. So I think I'm looking for a woman here. Oh, how about this one with the pool? Because I'd really like to get doing back some lengths and getting back into shape. So if I want to take a closer look at it, I can click on the magnifying glass and it'll give me a big version of it so that I can see it and decide if this is the picture I want. And then if you do want it, you just select it and you can click Insert, and it will plunk it right on top of your canvas. Now, when it first goes there, it's going to be really big. It's going to fill up as much space as possible. In order to shrink it to the size that you want, you just grab the edge there and you kind of drag it in. And I need it even smaller, so I'm going to drag. And you're going to put that picture right over top of the area where the words are. So my swimming is going to go there. Now, I left a little room because there are other things that I want to do besides swimming. So let's see, what else did I want to do to have kind of more fun this year? I was really thinking about how much I love to sing and how I haven't been doing that very much lately. So let's look up singing and again, find an image that really speaks to you. This woman here, she looks joyful, but not ecstatic. Like I really want, okay, I'm loving this woman. She just looks like she's dressed up. She's having fun. She's performing. It looks like she's singing her heart out. So I'm going to grab that one and insert it. And it'll tick, tick, tick. Again, there it goes in nice and big. And then you can just shrink it down and move it over top. Now we're making a collage, so it's okay if the pictures overlap with each other. There we go. So I'm going to keep adding pictures until I've got the whole area of my canvas covered. Now I do want to show you a couple of tricks here though. So if you find a picture like this that you want to crop, you can do that within Google Draw as well. So just make sure that your picture is highlighted in blue there. You've clicked on it. And if you come to this little tool, crop, these little black lines around the edge will appear. And if you just drag them in, I'm going to get rid of kind of the right side of that picture. And then I just click enter and now it's gone. Now you can see that you can drag the picture wherever you want. Sometimes it's fun if you tilt your pictures left or right. So to do that, you just grab the handle at the top and you can just tilt them there. Now, let's say you want, as you add more pictures, you're going to start to want some pictures to be in front of others or behind others. So in order to do that, you select the picture that you want and then you right click on it. And this option here, order, bring to front or send to back. Let's say I want the pool in front. I'm going to bring it in front and now it's overlapping over top of my singing picture. Okay. So you could play around with the ordering a little bit there. Now, aside from pictures, I also challenge you to add some words. And one of the fun things that you can do in Google Draw with words is something called word art. So if you go to Insert and Word Art, you type in the word that you're thinking of. So when I think about singing and swimming and celebrating, the word joy comes to me, or enjoy. So I'm going to click enjoy for now and just press enter there. So up pops my word here and I can move it wherever I want and I can tilt it just like I did with the pictures. And you can change your font now and try and pick a font that goes with that word. So joy, if I kind of look through, if I can find something that kind of says fun to me or playful, I kind of like this cursive. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that. So by default, the color it gives you is a light blue, but you can change that. So you come up to the paint pot here. Joy for me is like pink, like bright fuchsia. So I'm going to click on the pink there and bam, now I've got joy and it really pops out. Other ways to make the words look a little more fun. You can choose your border color. Now the default is black, but you could also make it yellow. Now it's a little hard to see that right now, but if I click on the border weight and I make it even thicker, right now, the default I think is 1 pixel. I made it 3. If I wanted it thicker, I make it 4. Now you can see the yellow really starts to stand out. Now there are some other fun things that you can do with the word art too here. So I've just been using the solid colors, but you can go into gradient and there are some really neat different effects that you can play around with here. Now I know that's blue, it's not pink anymore, but there are some cool effects there. Or you could custom play with your gradients. You could add some different colors here. Let me grab that pink back and kind of play around with how the insides of those words look and make a really creative use of the color in your words to make it stand out. All right, so those are the basics for how to create a digital collage in Google Draw. I encourage you to cover the entire board and play around with the pictures. Think about color and how it makes you feel. When you look at your vision board, you want to feel enthusiastic and excited and hopeful, all of those great things when you look at your board. Now, I selected the default of the canvas for this board to be an 8.5 by 11 canvas, so that if you have a color printer at home, you could print this off. But first, before you do that, you're going to want to save your file. And the nice thing about Google Draw is that it does give you a couple different options for how you want to save. So you go to File. I'll just close my Pinterest. There, you want to go to File, and then let's see, where is it? Download. You can download it as a PDF if you wanted to just print on a standard printer, or a JPEG or a PNG, or you can save it as a scalable vector graphic as well. So there's some different choices here. If you're wanting to print it off as a photograph quality, then I would definitely save it as a PNG file, or possibly as a JPEG. Either of those you could take to your local print shop and get them printed off in photo style, or you can print either of those on a color printer as well. So I'm just going to download mine as a PNG there. And it will show up on your computer, and then you could save that file for printing purposes. Now, I did want to show you, this was my vision board that I worked on for this year, and I wanted you just to see kind of a finished copy so you could get an idea of what yours might look like when it's completed. Something that I wanted you to be aware of when you're creating this is that your pictures can stick outside of the canvas. I've got some messy painting art here as a reminder that I want to do some more painting this year, or maybe take some painting lessons. And it is, as you'll notice, it's sticking way off the canvas here, and that's okay, because when you download your final image, it will just trim around where the edge of the canvas is, which was the gray and white checkered area. So don't worry about that. If things are hanging off the edge, you don't have to crop them. That's fine. And you'll see that lots of my pictures are overlapped. And I've got lots of different words there that are very meaningful for me. So I'm going to just download this right now as a PNG so that I can show you what it looks like. Here we go. And then we'll just open that file up. And here is... And I'm just going to close up the browser behind me. There we go. And I'll move my webcam over so it's out of the way. Here we go. So here is my finished image, and you can see it is completely trimmed off around the outside. So there we go. That's how you can make a digital vision board. I would love to see one. If you create one, you could upload it and share it on my website in the comments area, or you could email it to me. I hope that you find this to be fun. If you have any questions, just send me an email and I will get back to you as soon as I can to answer those. And I'm just wishing you a wonderful new year, and that your vision board magic will work and bring you wonderful things. Take care. Bye.